Chapter 977. We'll save the banquet for later.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Podcast, sailing right along as usual. I am the best guy ever, and I'm joined, as always, by Gibbontake.
Hey up, guys. What's guanin'?
What's guano in guano? Samurai, ninja, kimonos,
Well, lots
etc.,
of things.
etc. Hanabi, etc. It's great. It's time for chapter 976 of the popular manga series known simply as One Piece. Oh, sorry, 977. Looking at the wrong damn page. 977. We'll save the banquet for later. And let's first address the epic moment of the cover page series about Capone, Volume 24, Lola Chiffon, a reunion between sisters. Oh my goodness.
Oh my fucking
Wow.
god. They're finally...
They look the same.
There they are.
Remember when she was a pig lady and had her ghost up in there?
I do.
I enjoyed that. I appreciated
Volume
that.
24, like, including, like, the breaks, the week breaks, that's, like, more than half a year, almost.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. It's been a long time. It's time to wrap this thing up, Oda. Let's, as much as we love the chiffon, beige, Lola, miscellaneous, you know, I do like the, well, actually, the best thing about a cover arc is when you can give a little bit of extra character and, like, moments to characters who didn't get enough. And I like the idea of giving the Capone pirates, like these guys, what are their names?
A little bit of something.
But frankly, there wasn't a lot of that, though, so it was a little bit thin on
there was,
interesting
like,
content.
there was a thing where, like, there was an enemy around, and I don't even remember what their power was, but they were doing something.
I like that this guy, Gotti, his name's Gotti, right? Like, he actually saved Lola from kidnappers. I'm like, okay, cool, that guy did something. That makes me a little bit happier about that character. Wasn't that important, though. But would I have preferred to just move the arc along faster so we can get to perhaps a better story? Yes, I would have, but that's okay. It is what it is. Gotti, congratulations. Vito, guy with the really big hands and big guns. What a lad. He's a top lad. All right, that's it. Let's see what happens. Maybe again, Oda will shock us all with Shanks shows up next chapter and kills both of them instantly. Yeah. And he puts a new straw hat he has on the baby, Pez. And Pez he's like, with his big cigar, he starts to burn the straw hat instantly. He's like, oh, this kid's just like my old pirate captain. He's going to be the big one. Luffy was just a placeholder until Pez could be on the scene. Oh, that'll be good.
He's going to be dispensing all sorts of things.
He has to kill the parents, just like as Luffy grew up without parents, right? So he had to kill his parents instantly so he could make Luffy 2, Pez, Luffy but with cigar. And I'm very excited for that arc. That'll be One Piece 2, the story of Pez, the dispenser. Ooh, he'll eat a dispenser devil fruit, and it'll be the Pez dispenser.
Yes.
Pirates.
Dispenses information.
All right. On to chapter 977. When we last left our heroes, Jinbae had joined the crew. Bounty of 438 million. Second biggest in the crew now after Luffy. Congratulations, Jinbae. Here he is.
Yes.
At last,
and so
he is here.
We get the reunion. The characters who know and love Jinbae from the Whole Cake Island arc go and hug him or, like, cheer. The others
he gives
are
a
like...
little explanation here about, oh, sorry, I was late. I had to heal the Sun... I was looking after the wounded Sun Pirates and had to celebrate my departure from them. So, again, I think we both hope for more exposition on that. So I guess we can infer from that he did, in fact, escape from Big Mom and was not captured, despite being one ship against the entire Yonko fucking fleet. Okay.
I mean, one ship of, like, sea-dwelling swimmer boys. So, like, maybe they could have gone underneath. They still had, what was his name, like Oven or Heat Man, who could...
Yeah, and
like,
Oven was really good at fucking you.
He put his hands in the water, he boiled the ocean, like that. Yeah, that probably would have got him.
That was a very strong power at sea. And they do have fishmen on their crew as well, like half fishmen and stuff. I would like a little more information. This is one of the things that irks me when you've got characters who we need to develop attachment for doing big, cool things off screen. It's very tell, not show, and that's not great. So all I'm saying is, please give us a little bit more Oda so I can feel more happy about that little thing. I don't think we're going to, though. I think we're just going to wrap it up here, but maybe,
it is a bit, I mean, like, all it needs is, like, when Big Mom appears the next time and she sees Jimbae, she's like, the one that got away. Just something, just something to acknowledge that there was a thing, and then maybe somebody says why they managed to leave. Like, it doesn't need to be an in-depth explanation.
Of course, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It doesn't even need to be, like, an explanation. It can just be, Jimbae got away. Like, fine. We don't need to know that how he did it. Maybe he says, I took the wheel and I sailed real fast.
Even something like that, I'd be okay with.
Like, cool.
Yeah. Whatever. All right, well, we'll fucking see. We'll see what happens. So here it is. Everybody loves Jinbei. Everybody loves Raymond. There he is. Ha ha ha, laugh track. Of course, so this is Frankie. Not his first time meeting with Jinbei. They've all met him before. But they're like, hey, Frankie, did you know he's a really good helmsman? Because Frankie's been the one steering the ship up to this point, generally speaking. At first it was Chopper, then it was Frankie, and now it's Jimbae. He's going to be the helmsman, so he's going to stand there and turn the wheel. And,
he's going to
can't wait.
Completely static the entire time. He's not going to have any moments of interaction with the rest of the Straw Hats. He's just going to be I got to hold the wheel.
All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, I humbly beseech you, if the series of One Piece ends and, like, nothing of interest is done with Jinbei being a helmsman and he simply is there, I will submit to you that this was all pointless. Now, we'll only know that once the series is done. I'm just saying, I'm keeping that thought in my mind. I'll be very curious to see what happens.
I'm pretty sure we must have talked about this before, but I think there's no reason, like, obviously there's no reason for a helmsman as a specific role, because they've been doing fine without
simply,
it.
They've dealt with it many times,
But, like, he could have just been a Shichibukai strong man that joins the crew. It didn't need to have a role associated with it.
It's fine. It's a little bit of flavor. Again, we've talked about the issues with it, but
it's fine. It's just sort of like, if it turns out to be pointless, there was no real excuse. He could have just joined as a pirate, as a member.
Indeed. Although, okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see a massive about face, because this is basically officially, and as I've always said was the case, it is happening. This is the end of my complaints. The fact is, Jinbei has now joined the crew, and the second that panel is over, he's pleased to be on the same crew. Frankie's excited face just saying, toast! The fact that he wants to toast Jinbei join the crew, and everyone happy. I'm really feeling it. It no longer matters. Any of my criticisms about Jinbei and should he be in the crew, the fact is he is in the crew, and it's time to get fucking excited about just having a new boy and seeing what good comes of it.
Well, I was reading this. It was nice that there wasn't, like, seriousness. In fact, like, all of the other characters are like, no, we've got to seriously, and then, like, the Straw Hats are like, yeah, Jimbae, let's have a party.
The positivity and the happiness and the joy of the Straw Hats is, as you see in the story, infectious, and you can't fight it. And it is happy, and we can't get too bogged down in these criticisms all the time to avoid just how Frankie's smiling face there, with his little blushes and his samurai helmet, brings me much joy. And maybe I don't love Jinbei, but Frankie loves Jinbei. And how can I not appreciate that? So here it is. So it's time to get on board the Jinbei train. I'm going to call him Jimbo. Welcome to the team, Jimbo.
Jimbae,
let's do this thing.
Spelled Jimbae.
B-A-E, of course. So there's talk about, like, they're going to do the celebratory toast, as they do sometimes, like when Brooke joined and everybody else. But alas, they have no alky-lol. Where to get alky-lol?
Oh, they have to destroy Kaido and do that.
Because
he's
certainly
got all
has
the
some in
alcohol.
there. But in the meantime, it's time to talk strategy. So,
wouldn't it be funny if, like,
you
know, Luffy goes up to Kaido and he kind of forgets the reason that all of this is happening, and he's just sort of like, he goes into that room and says, hey, Kaido, give me your beer, I need it. We need to toast Jimbae. Like, that's his, like, motivation in the moment.
I mean, that would be classic Luffy, and I would not mind it. I would be totally fine with such a thing. Although, they are putting that off for now, but we'll get to that at the end of the chapter here. which is a little bit of continual blue balls, but not a big deal. We'll get to it. So here, Kinemon shouting to the Straw Hats, "Hey guys, let's talk strategy." Nobody cares. They are not listening. They are uninterested in strategy.
But the one who is listening is the musketeer man who he's always around. I don't know what he's done. He just sort of
has done nothing of narrative importance. Literally zero.
He's just been one of the strong people who will probably be in the background with a sword at some point.
Although his nickname is apparently Full Power Shishilian. His name is Full Power. I mean, that sounds awesome. But in what way is he full power? I'm dying to know. I
think when the moon comes out and all of the minks go full gamer mode.
They go sicko mode, yeah.
He is just going to be extremely ripped. Like, he's just going to be like Tony the Tiger, sort of like huge upper body, and he's going to punch people without claws.
Well, that is one of the things they've set up, that this is happening on a full moon, I believe, so we will see that. We will see the minks go sicko mode. So perhaps he will stand out in that mode.
I hope for like a double-page spread of all the minks in their sicko mode at the same time.
Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Because at this point, the minks have been pretty boring, pretty interesting. The bunny got her cool little moment. Cool. I don't dislike them at all. I'm just saying they haven't really been able to do much outside of Pedro and Bunny Carrot. So let's give them a one panel of them all going beast mode, and I'll be satisfied.
Yeah. At the very least, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi.
Oh yeah, for sure. The ones we actually know and like and stuff. Yes, please do so. Remember that really big sheep guy that Nami likes to sleep on the belly of? I want to see that guy go sicko mode. He probably gets even bigger belly, and that's his only change.
Yeah, even fluffier. He makes the enemies fall asleep with comfort.
It's perfect. And of course, so we're establishing hierarchy here. Shishilian, he says because Inuarashi and Nekomamushi are like with the red scabbards.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shishilian will be commanding the minks. Okay, got it. Hyogoro gonna command the samurai. That's cool. Done. Established. Now understood.
All right, here we got a cute little map. So,
I love these. These are great.
Onigashima, surrounded by mountains. Only way in is through the main door, so they're going to have to blast their way through. But there is a back entrance because of the blueprints that Frankie got 1,000,000 years ago.
That's right, they're relevant at last. At last.
So there's a splitting off of the groups. There's multiple leaders, and they're all going to have their different parties that they're going to go. And obviously, they're going to run into different members of Kaido's crew and have battles all over the place. I can't wait.
I'm ready for Enies Lobby 2. Please let it happen.
I feel like this is like, definitely feeling like an Enies Lobby 2 moment. Because like Wano was the Water 7, and then they're traveling to the thing.
Yeah. That is very similar now that I think about it. And we've been saying before that there is a little bit of a dearth of like known enemy combatants, but let's get to the end of the chapter and we'll see if that has been ameliorated at all.
And here's another funny moment. Kinemon is talking about his plan that he had written down and said earlier. We're going to separate our forces, and then we're going to go around the skull, enter through the secret entrance, and attack Kaido when he's drunk. And then, of course, Denjiro is like, yes, I heard that through Kanjuro. So what's the actual strategy, Mr. Smart Man, Mr. Super Genius? Kinemon, whiteface. like super, like, oh no, pale as a ghost, oh dear. I don't have another plan.
Oh, it's the same joke again, but it's still good. Yeah, it's still good. He's, do we have a better plan? Oh god, I've got nothing. I'm stupid. I'm a dumb, idiot samurai man. I only think of swords and being gay. But that's okay. He is, in fact, heterosexual, thoroughly based. He loves what's-her-face, that old Japanese woman. So they're actually... Okay, help me understand, because I don't really get what the fuck the difference was and the point of this from a narrative thing. So Kinemon says, they say, some of us are going to charge it. We cannot control the Straw Hats or, the Kid Pirates. I think they mean the Kid Pirates. They're just going to rush in the center because that's what they do. The rest of us can strategize a little bit more around that. We can't stop them. So those guys will rush in the front. Others of us can go around the sides. But then Law says, okay, here's a big brain strategy.
That's what Law says. Law is the one who mentions that there's always going to be those idiots who charge straight forward. So we're going to have to, like... It's like Kinemon's plan is to simply go around the back. And Law's plan accounts for the fact that there will be a big diversion with the idiots going straight forward.
Okay, fair enough, which is true. And then he posits the idea of, what if we used my submarine and went all the way around the back so they don't even know about this particular batch of boys who will enter from the back of the... They won't need to enter through the entrance at all, and then they can climb the mountain or whatever, they can get onto the island, and then just charge the back, and there's no need to, like, fight their way there, the way the other people who enter and attempt to circle around back will have to do. So, okay. And then, just to get the nuances of this, so Kinemon says, okay, I can't do that, I need to lead the troops, and Denjiro also says, like, I also am going to stay in the front. So Kinemon is going to be with the troops on the front lines, leading a charge that way. I think that it's implied that Denjiro and Kawamatsu will also be on the front lines, each like leading one of the charges. But then the other part of the Red Scabbards will go with Law, and like a portion of them will go around back.
I think you got it a little backwards.
Please explain.
Denjiro is saying that we shall take the mountain path, as in like he and Kawamatsu, I suppose, because they're sitting next to each other.
So like that's going in with the main front in the beginning, and then taking the land route around.
No. The Law thing is like get some people around to the back of the mountain. Right. Using his ability, he can blorp them up on the thing. Kinemon says, I need to like lead the main troops, and so Denjiro says, okay, we will take the mountain route with Law. One for the right, another for the left. So there's like 4 possible, like straightforward, the left, the right, and the very back.
So are we doing all 4 of those routes, or are we simply doing the main front and then this sneaky Law from the back thing?
I think they're doing all of them.
Okay.
There's enough like different like I'm mostly thinking of this in terms of like how many different factions are there, how many different ways that they can split up, because if they can split up in a number of ways, that means they can have individual moments with enemies. Correct. That's
what we want.
So I just assumed that like they're going to go both the left way, the right way, and then a secret one all the way around the back. And then Luffy and Kid are just going to charge straight forward, and there'll be a diversion for everyone else.
The way that Denjiro says, okay, we shall take the mountain route, like, Kinemon's going to be with the main troops, Denjiro, we'll take the mountain route, one for the right, one for the left, and it's him and Kanjuro, or Kawamatsu stand next to each other, and he says, take the rest with you, and then Ashura Doji says, got it, we'll hit Kaido with everything I have. So I think all the Red Scabbards, except for Kinemon, Kawamatsu, and Denjiro will go with Law around to the back, which would be Inugarashi, Nekomamushi, fucking Kiku. I think it doesn't really matter. I always hate sections like this that are really technical and are confusing because of the translations.
Did you check with the Viz Media? Because I did not.
But let me go look at it right now.
Because we're reading like an older scanlation.
Okay. This does seem to slightly clarify. Kinemon's like, I will lead the troops. Denjiro says, that's a good point. We should have each of us for each path. Okay, so clearly implying that there's still like these 3 paths in the main entrance. I will take the other side of the mountains. You said the rest of them in. And then Ashura Doji says, got it. So the rest of us will be together. Right, so the rest of us will be together. So Ashura Doji and most of the Red Scabbards will go with Law. And these other samurai are going to lead the charge in the main frontal assault. Got it. Okay, cool. Doesn't really matter at all, but understood.
We charge at enemy from different angles.
Yes, very, very based. This will have very little, if any, narrative weight, is my bet. But nonetheless, there it is.
So then suddenly an explosion from the front. Also, did you notice these ships? They've already got patches on them from being shot at. So I think this is to indicate that, like, the Kaido's pirates that were trying to blow them up with their long-range cannons did not actually sink any of them, and they patched themselves up.
In theory, I see your point. I think that the cannons would leave damage that isn't Well, it could be implied that. I was getting that these are simply like repaired boats that were repaired hastily for this particular journey.
Yeah, that
but
could
I mean,
also
you could be right too. I'm not really sure. Whatever. It looked like at least one of those boats looked like they blew up. I would assume, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess I just didn't see the patches on the sails before, and I assume these are all like new.
That's kind of a fair question. If you could compare, you might be able to learn something, but I don't know. Go look it up.
No
nerds.
learning here.
No.
The podcast is stupid, and we have to maintain that bottom line.
I love that about me.
All right.
But oh my God, there's a gate, and there's soldiers. What are we to do?
Yeah, Denjiro's like, oh no, that's the super enemy place where the many enemies live, and they're so scary and dangerous. And if we don't die, if we charge right in, we will definitely be destroyed. Mm-hmm. And then smash cut to Luffy, excuse me, my English came out. Luffy smashing the guy, killing him, and then Jinbei babashing the other guy, and then Zoro's killing a guy, and then everyone's killing everyone. The Straw Hats destroy whatever's there with ease.
First of all,
so cool.
This is awesome. My favorite of all of these is actually Sanji just smiling and looking away as he kicks a dude in the dick. Awesome. Super cool. I also love Robin. Yeah.
I think that's actually his, abdomen.
It doesn't matter.
Abs.
This man has a very tall dick. He actually ate a dick smile fruit, so his whole body is a large penis.
Oh, that's probably why he died instantly, because it's so sensitive.
Correct. Brook froze the guy. I love that Robin just did a big old foot stomp. Epic. Looks sick. Looking great as always.
Crunch.
I am a foot friend. I want to rub up on them toes, get all in them. That would be excellent for me. And, of course, Frankie does a big old punch that, splattered the guy against the fucking wall. Awesome. And then I love fucking the coward trio, Usopp, Nami, and Chopper, cowering on the ship. Classic coward trio.
They will never have a good moment. Haha, losers.
No. This is perfectly appropriate for this moment. Love it.
Yeah,
Although, I have to say it. In the olden days, you remember, a million years ago, when you would see the Monster Trio. Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro. Who gets second billing now? It's Jinbei. Fucking Sanji has been de-fucking-moted to the second page of boys. And that's... It just hurts a little bit, is all. He's been cucked. Even Zoro's been cucked!
I said
that'd be my last complaint before, but this is my real last complaint.
Yeah. We all believe that you'll never complain about Jinbei again. Here's my counter argument. I kind of do see what you're saying, but Jinbei has just been introduced, and if you notice, his panel is smaller than Zoro's and Sanji's.
Based. Very based. That's true. That's true. In terms of width, Sanji's is wider than Jinbei's minuscule fish cock. Sanji's is long and wide and girthy, and probably he smells like freshly cooked bouillon. Yes, delicious. Okay.
So, in terms of Jinbei being the second strongest, it might even be.
That is true. I think that is true at this point.
Yeah. So that the whole monster trio is no longer the case.
It's gone. It's dead.
We're gonna have to deal with that. It's strange. Frankie is extremely strong. It's is Sanji that much stronger than Frankie?
Frankie is an interesting case. He's, pre-time skip. I think the only really frame of reference we have is who they've defeated in combat, really. And Luffy did fight Frankie at one point, and it was kind of a gimmick fight. But they did some real battle against each other. I think Luffy definitely would have won that fight if they continued it to the finish, despite that was a battle to showcase Frankie's abilities and stuff. And it was a great fight in Water 7 and all that. But I think Luffy was significantly stronger. I think that Frankie has gotten some major upgrades, but Frankie's fighting abilities, they've never even really been explored that much, other than the 2 fights he had in the Water 7 and Enies Lobby days. He had 3. One against Luffy, one against that guy Nero, who's the CP9 trainee, which was cool, and then the one against that big fucking zipper face guy, I believe was the one he fought.
Chapapa,
yeah, that's the guy. But he is really physically powerful, but you get the sense, at least I get the sense, that in a real, like, shonen one-on-one battle, he is, like, slow and bulky and wouldn't necessarily do that well, but I don't know. It's honestly hard to say.
It's hard. Yeah, it is hard to say. Frankie has not had an all-out battle since, like, Thriller Bark, I think.
Even then, I don't think he did much. I mean, he fought Oars and stuff, but
he helped in that battle, but then
of course
he had
remember when you made those big nunchucks out of two big pillars?
Yeah,
I remember.
Like he's had, I don't know. Frankie's has not had.
Weird. Frankie's a little weird.
I think it's really just the fact that he is a mech, and he needs another mech to fight against, and that is a different sort of battle than a shonen like muscle battle.
It's true.
He literally doesn't really even have muscle.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not much at this point. I mean, it's a little bit similar to Nico Robin. It's different, but like Robin's got a special kind of situation. But she has had one good fight ever, and it wasn't even that great, honestly. But it was cool against that one guy in Skypiea, and like nothing else ever. I mean, we've talked about this before, but Nami's had a bunch of good fights early on in One Piece, including her best fight ever, obviously in Eni's lobby against Khalifa. Fantastic, amazing.
This Wano, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people that need fights, for plot reasons.
Yeah.
Don't know how many of them are going to be big. Mm-hmm. Probably one or two are going to be big fights, and the rest are going to be
just Zoro, man.
Zoro and Luffy, you know. And maybe Kinemon, maybe one of the little kid or something.
Momonosuke, yeah.
But we were always worried that the Straw Hats would not have a chance to shine among this pantheon. There's 50 plus character roster of important people fighting in one location. It's bigger than Smash. It's literally more characters than Super Smash Brothers are trying to fight and in the limelight. And it's like now there's another Straw Hat in Jimbae that he might have a fight because he's come in. It is like the first moment that he's technically.
Man.
Yeah, he's big. He's a fish. Like, what are you gonna do about that guy?
You're
gonna put him in a fishbowl.
But before, I mean, okay, well, whatever. Spoiler of the end of the chapter. I mean, people have already fucking read it. But, at the end, Jinbei, they don't do, quite the big celebration yet. Sure, he's in the crew. He's been in the crew for a while. But, the big moment of, join hasn't happened. Every other member of the crew has had, after Zoro, has had, a arc of, proving themselves, kind of. And, yes, I'm aware Jinbei's done a lot to prove himself. But the one thing that Jinbei has kind of lacked is, looking like he's been, strained or pushed to the limit. He hasn't had that kind of shonen fight. The worst that's ever happened.
He
got burned in Marineford by Akainu, but that's different. That wasn't the same kind of thing.
It's he's suffered injuries, but nothing has been it's do or die sort of situation for him. He's just sort of, jumped into fights to protect people or do, He's got hurt by Big Mom tried to steal his life force or something.
Yeah.
Little things like that.
I mean, I'll throw this out here. Maybe, this is a conspiracy. I don't know this happened. I personally would like it. It doesn't have to. I don't need this to happen. But, our old theory about maybe there was a reason why we've all questioned why Oda would choose to write Jinbei into the crew and not have him join before Wano. Maybe the reason for that is because he wanted to join here and not for us all to get too attached to him, because maybe the fact that at the end they kind of suspend the welcoming ceremony is because Oda plans to have someone die. I mean, maybe Jinbei will die during this battle, and that will be the moment that I don't expect that to happen. I don't even think it's very likely, but I think that would be really cool writing if he did happen to do that.
I think it wouldn't be really cool writing, just for the fact that he has been built up to be the next crew member for so long.
Yeah.
That it's basically identical to him having been in the crew for that amount of time. There isn't too much of a difference.
I don't know. I slightly disagree.
I mean, I feel like what would be more likely if they were if he was going that route would be Jinbei would appear to die, and then he would be saved by Chopper or some sort of thing he's on the ground, he's bleeding heavily. Luffy finishes the battle, and then Jimbae is like sort of alive at the end.
Well, I don't expect
that's just shonen battle stuff. Death, I think, it's definitely more likely than it's ever been.
We're fighting a Yonko. This is the biggest battle ever, by far. This is the most they're trying to beat a Yonko. The Whole Cake Island arc was not about defeating a Yonko. This one is. This is different. They're there to kill Kaido specifically. So this is a more intense situation than we've ever had. They're with a stronger opponent than ever. I'm just saying, if there was ever a time where characters could die, this would be it. I would posit.
I just think it would be kind of a. It wouldn't be...
I don't think it's going to happen, though. I mean, to be clear, I do not think that's going to happen.
I think, and just in terms of it being like a cool writing moment, I think it would be a frustrating writing moment, because to have a character that is quote-unquote, you don't get attached to him before he dies, is lame when it happens in a horror movie, or like something like that. It's just like, and here's the character that will die, and you won't really care because you never get a chance to get attached to him. Getting attached to a character is what makes a death important.
To an extent,
Ace
I agree.
Was really fucking devastating. Like, oh my god.
Don't you... But so many people come out of the woodwork to say that they love Jinbei. Jinbei is a popular character. He does well in the polls and whatnot. I mean, that doesn't matter to me in terms of like what I think about the character, but that is true. So a lot of people have developed an attachment to Jinbei, and I understand why.
Yeah, but then it's like sort of a... I don't know. Like,
I mean, if you think it sounds unsatisfying and like
I think it sounds unsatisfying in both avenues, where like they write him as a character you're not supposed to care about enough, so it's sort of like lame, and people do care about him, and finally, after years, he's going to join the crew. Oh, no, he's not actually going to try. I feel that's too mean for One Piece.
Well, that's kind of what Oda did with Ace. Like, he saved Ace.
Ace was just a character that was like, he was out of the story for a long time. Sure. And then suddenly, he's in prison. And it's like, oh no, Ace, I've got to go save Ace. And then the tragedy is not just that Ace died, but also that Luffy failed real big.
Sure, that's true.
And
well, okay, look, I mean,
it's a very different thing, Ace dying, than Jimbae, like, being hyped up to be the next member of the crew and then dying as soon as he gets in, before he gets to drink and toast with his buddies. Like, I mean, that's just uncharacteristically mean of Oda to do.
I mean, these terms mean and whatnot, they don't matter to me, because it's not about what's... Okay, they matter because I'm aware this is a shonen series, and Oda is not going to do things that make the audience overly upset. And the fact that he killed Ace, and Whitebeard to a lesser extent, like, have been some of the most, like, controversial moments in the series.
I don't think they're controversial. I think that the spoiler talk is controversial. People don't like being spoiled for it. I don't think anybody, like, wishes that Whitebeard and Ace had lived, because it was done so well. It was so emotionally gripping and satisfying and good.
But this is the kind of people who rail... I mean, I don't want to get into it here, of all places, but these are the people who rail for, like, Aerith to be revived in the Final Fantasy VII Remake and stuff, and like, even though it's contrary to the point of the story and whatnot, there are massive amounts of those people out there. So all I'm saying is, I think that kind of consumer mindset is out there, and
I am skeptical as to the size of whatever mindset that is. I've never heard anyone say, "I wish Ace didn't die," ever.
On that point specifically, I haven't really heard much of that. I just know that sentiment exists in general. Perhaps not about this specific character, but some people have that line of thinking in their heads, which is unfortunate. But maybe it's a vast minority.
I think it's kind of one of those, like, silly ideas that a very small minority has, and it gets latched onto because of how silly it is and get blown out of proportion. Like, most people, they don't really... They don't think, like, oh, wouldn't it be great if Aerith was revived? They're just sort of maybe emotionally like, oh, I really like Aerith. Sigh. And
I don't think you're spending enough time in the community, because I think there's a lot of people who feel that way.
Well, I mean, that's Final Fantasy. This is
delusional idiots, but
which is a much larger audience,
and it's different. This is a fucking ongoing narrative. I mean, I'm aware of all these things. I don't even think this is likely. I just thought I'd say it.
All right,
because I thought it was maybe it would have been fun.
I debunked it.
That particular avenue would. I'm aware this is just me. I'm a minority here. It would like satisfy my particular grievance that I've always felt Jinbei didn't quite belong, and this would like be the answer to that feeling. But I know nobody else gives a shit. Nobody else cares. I get it.
It's really funny. Like Nate, like a few minutes ago, like I'm no more like complaints with Jinbei. He's in the crew now. Then like secretly Nate's thoughts. I wish Jinbei would just fucking drop dead.
Now I know that there's gonna be people who are like, oh, see, Nate wants Jinbei to die, when that was not my point at all. God damn it, and. I'm not even going to bother explaining. I'm sure people get it. All right.
Well,
so that being said,
is your point that like it would just be narratively?
It would be narratively satisfying. In one of the complaints that I have had about the Jinbei writing thing, would it introduce other issues? Yes, but like for my particular hiccups about the character, feeling a little bit like he doesn't belong here. Like if the idea was to set him up to die, like it would be like, oh, so that was the point of all of this. Again, there's many issues with doing that, but on that one particular front, it would like close that particular loop. Would I find that satisfying? Yeah, I probably would. But if other people don't,
I don't know
fine.
that I would.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
I feel like there's still like the general feeling of Jinbei not belonging, right? Is that he hasn't had chance to interact with the members of the crew.
True.
And they love him more than you think. They should, for the amount of like fun times they've had together.
No, that's not quite my position. Well, I don't think that the characters shouldn't love him. I understand why they're attached to Jinbei. It's me as the audience. It's us out here, like with our meta awareness of the narrative. Like some characters have gotten more like gratifying screen time than others, and some have gotten less. So it's really more of a meta thing than like the now. When Robin says like, "Oh my God, he's a handsome man," I do feel like Oda is laying it on thick and things like that. So that's fair to say.
She likes fish.
When she's never said any other character was handsome like ever. So you know, there you go.
She's into fish. She's a fish girl.
I guess so.
She's a furry. She's a furry. She's a weirdo.
She is a weirdo. That is true. They're both mature, silent kind of dudes. You know, more reserved. Okay. In any case,
I think generally like the moments where Oda is like pushing for Jinbei to be cool are not as terrible in retrospect as I think they will be if I reread like from Impel Down where he was first introduced.
Are you saying they're better in your memory than they actually were?
No. I feel like the fact that we stew on each chapter every week and those moments stick out and stay for such a long time.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Like on a reread, it won't feel as egregious. Like, oh Oda, you're pushing Jimbo way too hard. Like I don't think I'm gonna feel that on a reread.
That's true of everything. Like when I got to the part where Luffy finally beats Doflamingo, and it is not explained how Luffy breaks the strings, even though, like, the setup for the power of those puppeteer strings was so clear over such a long period of time. I knew Oda would not let me down, and he would explain what happened there, and then he just does not. Sure, we can headcanon some things, but it's not enough. And, when I got to that chapter and finished it, I was just sitting there blue-balled and wanting to die. But then, rereading it, it's like, oh, well, that's kind of annoying. And then there's the next chapter, and I can just keep going, and, there's nothing to stew on. At least not really. Totally different. Totally different binging versus reading chapter week by week. It's a totally different experience.
Right. Well, we've gone over this enough. Let's move on to the next thing. So, the coward trio, they say, good job, everyone's dead. And the gate... on that gate they have like 1 billion cannons, so good job that the Straw Hat Pirates jumped over there, killed everyone before they shot. And here we get a really epic double page thing with everyone like standing over the corpses. Everyone's looking really cool. Zoro's like got his big thing of liquor, I think he found.
Yep, that's right.
He's very happy. He's the happiest he's ever been.
Smile this big, but he's smiling right now, and isn't that nice? And It is, they sure took out a lot of these guys. I'm assuming that there was no one important here, and it was all, like, fodder soldiers that they just cleared out real quick.
Quote-unquote fodder. I think the idea is that they were dangerous, but when the Straw Hats combine forces, they are very powerful. And
that's certainly true. That's certainly true. But they put up 0 resistance, and they are all dead. Well done. Well done. So, yeah, that allows the samurai to get in. This obstacle that was forgotten has been dealt with. Problem written into the story, problem written out of the story. Excellent work, Oda. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Then Luffy says, like, oh, wait, stop. Let's do it with them. The toast, the banquet. They were about to toast Jimbae joining the crew, but then Luffy was thinking, wait, we should toast and banquet once we defeat Kaido and Orochi and Big Mom and win the war, and it's going to be the biggest banquet ever.
Indeed.
I am so looking forward to that moment, because those are always so fun. Just to see everyone's laughing and smiling, and like the new characters being like, "Wow, these guys really know how to party." Like,
that's true.
It happens the same way every time, but I really like it.
Yeah, I mean that's
it's such a happy like relief. Like
look at fucking Zoro's like grimace smile on the bottom right of that page. He's just that's drawn a little bit strangely in my mind. That's a very angry-looking smile, but I suppose he's just hyped up for the fight to come. So
he can't wait to eat some chicken and beer
and basketball. His favorite treat. Very excited. He does love booze though, so he's hyped up for the best booze taste ever. How exciting for him! So as they rush off, our boy Captain Kid says, fuck you, Luffy. You guys think you're so cool. We're gonna kill Kaido. Here I go. And Killer is there. Hey, what do you know? He's doing his fa-fa-fa laugh.
Yeah, he's doing his laugh. And I really like this. The crew has, like, adopted his laugh, and they're sort of chanting it as a war cry. And he's, like, saying, stop that. I don't know whether he's, like, really... I don't know whether he's really annoyed, or whether he's, like I could imagine he'd be, like, slightly happy, because it's, like... They're taking his, like, thing that he finds extreme, like, displeasure, what's the word? Shame. Extreme shameful laugh. He hates this laugh, and he's forced to laugh constantly.
So look at his big old T-Rex fucking dome on the front of that ship. It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
What a great ship
it's a real cool ship. But, like, the crew is, like, by adopting it and yelling it constantly, it's no longer him being an idiot by himself.
Yeah.
It's everyone, and it's sort of, like, it's inclusive, and it probably makes him feel a little better.
I'm sure that's true, and it's sweet. I mean, the whole thing with him was I mean, it was written in, I guess. Maybe it was always intended. I don't know. In fact, I know it was not always intended, but that's fine. That he wears this helmet to, like, cover his laugh, even though a laugh is an audio thing. It's not, like, it's not how you look. It's the sound, so it doesn't cover anything. Okay, but anyway, moving on from that shit.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's just shy. He's just a shy guy.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I thought he might like be out of commission or something, but no, I guess he's here and he's gonna fight with him. So that's cool. That's cool.
There is alternative interpretations of the crew saying fa fa fa, and it could just be that they're making fun of him and he doesn't like it. But I would hope that it's like a camaraderie thing.
Indeed.
But I don't know what the killer pirates are like, really. Not the killer pirates, the kid pirates.
I have a concern though, which is he clearly has a beard here, but when he was doing his shit as like the slasher or whatever, he did not have a beard. So where did the beard come from? I guess he could have grown it after the last like I guess it's been like a couple of weeks or whatever. I guess that's possible.
When are you thinking of?
Okay. Actually, this is a little bit ambiguous, so maybe I'm just wrong. But here, I'm posting an image of like when we saw the reveal that Killer is this guy. Like the way that bandage is on, it sure implies that he doesn't have any facial hair there. But now you can clearly see under his helmet he has a beard sticking out. I guess he just grew it.
It could just be that it's under the bandages.
That'd be a very compressed beard, if so. I think that's unlikely, but I suppose I can't prove otherwise, so fair enough. Oda, I'm going to find your mistakes, Oda. I'm going to prove that One Piece is a 0 out of 10. This is my only goal in life. I will mathematically identify all flaws, and it's going to be great. I'm very excited for that. By the way, I just want to point out that this bit here of Kid arguing with his crew about like, hey, stop laughing. We're like an angsty crew. We're not a happy crew. Shut up, idiots. this kind of banter and this kind of like brashness and like camaraderie with his crew is why Kid is like a Naruto who wants to be a Sasuke. Luffy is a Naruto, obviously, and Law is a Sasuke. Sasuke sucks. Kid is fucking awesome, and I love him. And this, like, arguing with his crew makes him, at one time, like, less up his own ass as a character and more lovable and more endearing as, like, a squad. And I like them more than I've ever liked the fucking Law Pirates. And if you like the Law Pirates, I'm just letting you know, you just are a fool. You just like bad things, and you don't like good things. So please revise your opinion. The Kid Pirates are based, and I love them. That's it. That's my point about that. Also, Luffy calls him Jaggy, which I assume refers to his hair. That you know what I'm saying?
Jig jag zigzag, yeah, maybe.
I wonder what he says in Japanese. I don't know. I checked both Viz and like the other one, and they both say Jaggy. So, okay, fair enough. And oh my God, there's Jinbei's turning the wheel. Oh God, he's doing it. It feels so good.
Look at the fucking Rorb Lalorb ass chopper right there.
I thought you might enjoy that. That is a very, very epic chopper face going on there. He's loving it. He's loving life right now.
He's like, are you gonna turn it? Are you gonna turn the wheel?
He's cooming right now, just looking at the skill of Jinbei steering. Okay, and now we do the fade away from this, and now we fade to Onigashima. What's going on with Orochi and the boys? Let's take a look. So we've got we've got a bunch of people partying.
I think is that big thing Orochi, or is that?
I don't think that's Orochi. I think that's one of the big monster things that we saw before. I believe.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
Oh yeah. They're saying like, oh, you can't even hold your keg properly. This is why I hate drinking with you lot.
Right.
As in like you monster people.
You know what I think? I think these are going to be a bunch of awakened Zoan, either smile guys or fucking whatever. Oh, not because
like perfect cell, sort of like they perfected version. The smiles, and that this is the result of like the most brutal version.
Something like that, probably, yes. But then again, I mean, so it's an interesting thing to call back to like the rules of awakened devil fruits. So okay, we've actually only seen awakened paramecia. Actually, it's funny. Katakuri was a Logia intentionally, or like was said to be a Logia user, until I think Oda realized that, oh wait, actually it doesn't quite fit the definition of what a Logia is. He's actually a special paramecia. But in effect, like he's basically like a Logia guy. So like we've basically seen what a Logia and a paramecia looks like when they're with Doflamingo doing stuff with his awakened string devil fruit. But Zoans were always different. And they were the first kind of awakening introduced in Impel Down. And the first ones we saw were like the big, monstrous, like freaky-looking jailers of Impel Down that are awakened Zoan Devil Fruit guys. It's interesting to note.
I forgot that. I thought they were just big animals.
No. Crocodile specifically points out that they're awakened Devil Fruit users. At the time, we really didn't know what that means. It's been, extrapolated a little bit more since then. But, I'm wondering if Oda's going to do a thing with that, and these guys are going to, like, is awakening your Zoan Devil Fruit, because those guys did always look very monstrous, and kind of different from normal, like, Zoan Fruit users, it would seem. Like, is that a consequence of awakening your Zoan Devil Fruit? And is he going to do more with that now, since we're in Wano, like, the Zoan arc, basically? I don't know, but I'll be very curious to see. Or, as you said, maybe it's some sort of, like, advanced smile devil fruit that Kaido's been working with. I would understand both of those, and maybe it's both. Maybe it's a combination. I don't know. But that'll be fun to see.
Like a genetically engineered smile fruit that forces awakening smiles.
Sure.
Like something like that.
I mean, that's certainly possible. The thing is, though, because we know that awakening devil fruits is a thing, and like we saw Katakuri fucking do it. He was just like, he's not even the first mate of the big moms. I think Prospero's technically the first mate or whatever. He's like the strongest fighter. Like, Kaido's gotta be an awakened Zoan Devil. Like, what does that mean exactly? I don't know, but I think we're gonna find out.
I think it generally probably just means that you can be really, really big and strong. I don't think it's going to be like that strange, because Paramecia is all about weird shit. Logia is a little more straightforward, and Zoan is very straightforward as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like you can turn other people into wolves.
I mean, that would be retarded. Yeah, let's.
You can turn the floor into a wolf.
I'm perfectly fine with that being the case. Although I will say, the handling of Zoan Awakening, and frankly, I mean, Devil Fruit Awakening in general is a strange thing in One Piece in general. And I don't know. I've got my gripes about it. I've said them in the past. And Zoans in particular, like it's like, what exactly was the point of specifically Zoan Awakenings? Because the thing that Crocodile said about them was that they heal really fast. Okay, like was that's what you get for like mastering your Devil Fruit? That doesn't sound that amazing from like a writing perspective or anything.
Actually, there is an interesting way you could do it. Yeah. Is that you turn into whatever animal with the Devil Fruit, and it's just the unique abilities of that animal are like enhanced. So if you, I'm sure when he had that in Impel Down, he wasn't thinking exactly what those animals' unique strengths
What's
are.
What's a koala's unique strength other than eating massive quantities of eucalyptus? That's the main thing.
Yeah, but like you could have I don't know.
There was a zebra and a cow can squirt lots of milk, like projectile milk squirting.
Nice.
Why
Good
not?
job.
Why not? I ask you.
We'll see.
I still would love to hear more about that. Please, Oda, please.
I generally think that because the Smile Devil Fruits are such a big thing, the monsters are probably Smile Devil Fruits, but the Flying Six right there are probably like the perfect awakened Zoan soldiers that he's trying to replicate in the rest of his army.
Yeah, let's get to that real quick. So okay, we've got Based Queen, screaming about bring me more fucking bean shit or whatever. I need beans. Give me beans. I love beans. This is going to Big Mom, who is currently changing and getting on a fucking kimono. But Kaido over here is like, hey, where is he? Who? My son, says Kaido. Where is my son? Bring him out here.
My boy.
Where's my boy? This is what true warriors all strive for. So Kaido's son, boom, thrown into the mix. That is a curveball I did not expect. I'll just say for the record, because you'd be talking about like him and Big Mom's son. Was it Katakuri?
I mean,
maybe.
Him and Katakuri's son?
I think that's probably. I think that most likely none of Big Mom's kids are fucking Kaido's, and he's referring to someone else that will be a new character introduced, maybe as like a fight for one of our boys. Okay, and I was just gonna say, so Big Mom's getting changed. She'll be out here. The Flying Six show up, as you say, and our last image of the chapter is these 6 pairs of legs as the Flying Six arrive. Now, for the record, Gib, I looked this up. The Flying Six, we already know who 2 of them are.
Is one of them King?
No. So for the record, the Calamities, like the 3 top boys, are King, Queen, and Jack. We know those guys. The Flying Six are 6 of the strongest headliners. One of them is D.A. Drake, and if you recall, the other one was that guy, Page One. Remember Page One? That that guy with the shirt off and the words. I don't know. Yeah. So that guy is another of the flying guys. He did not seem particularly impressive. D.A. Drake, frankly, doesn't seem that impressive. So I'm hoping these other 6 guys are pretty cool and show.
Well, other 4 guys.
Other 4. Yeah, you're right. Although one of them is a lady. We see some lady legs walking out there.
We do.
So that looks nice.
Okay, yeah, I'd forgotten that. That makes this reveal less interesting, because the power level of... I mean, the only thing that is interesting is that DS Drake is here.
Yes.
And we know that he is not actually aligned with Kaido, so he could be an interesting thing could happen.
We'll see what comes of that. Because the fact that DS Drake is part of this, and Page One, who we've already seen getting his ass beat by Sanji, okay, we're at the point, because this is what I want to talk about before. The threat level of the opponents. What are the top boys of the Beast Pirates to fight against all our characters, the Straw Hats, and the boys who are, the samurai guys who are coming in. So, D.S. Drake, not that impressive. Page One, literally already defeated. We can see a bunch of other guys. I think page 1 is one of the 2 pairs of legs in the back. I know D.Ace Drake is that one in the middle with, like, the weird studs on his pants. The guy walking in front, though, with an ornamental sword. Now, we've been saying for a while, we need a new swordsman on deck for Zoro's fight, if nothing else. Maybe this dapper man with his nice shoes is going to be the man that Zoro fights? I don't know. I'm just looking for him. He's got to be here somewhere. Oda, please. I was also thinking, fighting Kaido's son would also be pretty sick. I don't know what Oda's going to do with that, but that is a very interesting thing. I wonder who the mom is. I don't know.
You know, I just realized that the whole thing with, like, the Big Mom and Kaido teaming up, there is still potential for them to have a, like, comedically quick falling out, which would turn things in the favor of the Straw Hats and everyone.
That's true, because I really don't see the Straw Hats fighting Big Mom.
Like, beating both of them?
Yeah, that'd be too much. That'd be too much. And it would kind of, I mean, I'm just saying, if they do fight and defeat Big Mom, which I don't think will happen, it would really undermine the entire Whole Cake Island arc, where they were just, like, so fucked by Big Mom at every turn. Okay, it depends on how you do it, but I would be very like, kind of fucking up Big Mom's legacy here. Please don't do that. Because the best thing about Big Mom was how overwhelmingly powerful she was in Whole Cake. It was so good. So, tread carefully, Oda. We got a bunch of new... So we got the big monster man. I think there'll be a factor. I forget what they were called. Scratchman Apu was around. I think he's with those guys somewhere. I don't know. We've got the Flying Six, 2 of which are fairly unimpressive. I mean, they're okay. Hopefully, those other 4 headliners are actually impressive. But and we also have, of course, Jack, King, and Queen. Although even Jack already got cucked by Ashura Doji. So, like, I'm still feeling I need Oda to impress me.
At the moment, the most confirmed devastating, aside from Kaido, is Queen. Luffy could not touch Queen.
Is that true? Queen, I can't remember. Did they fight much?
Remember he threw a punch and then he had that robotic threw him away.
That's right. That's true. Although he was wearing sea stone cuffs at the time. Oh wait, no, he just had the collar on, right?
Yeah, he took the cuffs off and he had the collar on.
Right. Okay, that's true.
And it's like, Queen, don't fuck with me, boy.
Yeah, Queen was good.
He's just
Queen was
tossing him around. So like, Queen is like the one to beat.
Yeah,
like
right.
for Luffy.
And
maybe.
we can assume that King is also like. I mean, King fucked up the whole Big Mom crew all at once. I know it was just the ship, but that was certainly a cool, impressive moment. And he is the #1 boy. So, I'm looking forward to him.
So, yeah, and also the Big Mom pirates are still not here,
We have
I
not
guess.
seen... I don't think there's any reason to assume that they are here. I think it's just Big Mom right now.
I think that, they're definitely going to appear at some point.
I don't know that.
They would not have been destroyed.
I mean, they might just be outside Wano. I don't know. They would be looking for a Big Mom. You'd think they'd get a message like, "Oh, we've joined forces, by the way. Please be here and with Big Mom."
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
You know what they could be is that at the moment where they don't, the worst possible moment for enemy reinforcements to arrive is when they're gonna arrive.
Ooh, that would be bad. That would be very, very bad. And then maybe at that moment, that's when like Marco and the Whitebeard boys show up, perhaps, and they help counter that.
It's like a double whammy.
That'd be cool. I mean, that'd be a good moment for something like that.
Fighting is so close to happening. I think it might even start next chapter.
Yeah. Let's hope so. I'm ready for a chapter of. I want big reveals. Ooh, I've been waiting for this moment. Big reveals of the Flying Six, all 6 of them. I want to see what they look like. I want to start to speculate about their powers, who's going to fight who, etc., etc. And let's not forget, one of the Flying Six is literally a Marine. So are they going to fight with Luffy? I mean, they're literally trying to undermine Kaido here. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. We need more bad guys. Kaido's son. I think Oda has big plans for Kaido's son. I think that might even be like either the Zoro fight or like the Luffy fight will be against Kaido's son. Because I still think that Luffy shouldn't be able to one-on-one Kaido, and even defeating him with like a group of people might be a little much to ask. So having like a lieutenant, second kind of guy, maybe will we get another Katakuri moment where the best character ever is introduced like in the middle of the arc, and I'm able to fall in love all over again with a sexy teenage biker boy, just like Katakuri, who's actually like canonically like 50 years old. But still, please, Oda, keep it coming.
Yeah, I have in my head this tall, handsome, not bestial looking kid who is like in his 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
As Kaido's son. He'll be ripped.
I want him to be a butterball.
He'll be a
I want him to look like Queen. Maybe he idolizes Queen. He thinks Queen's based.
Oh no. Yeah, well, like that could also be the direction, but like
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's not exactly the obvious choice. But that's kind of why it's the obvious choice to me.
I could see Oda doing
like a cool guy.
one of his comedy moments where he reveals that like the son is like a fucking gamer and like a shitty, does not do physical exercise, but it's Kaido's son, so he's like just strong, but really he just loves to game hardcore, or something like, I don't know. I would love something like that. He could do anything with Kaido's son, so I'm hoping for something funny, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we haven't heard of him at all says to me that he's like a NEET, but on Onigashima. Like, he doesn't leave his giant demon throne.
Oh, and let's not forget, which goes to the argument, there is a banquet going on, like the happy fun time. Kaido's like, where's my son? What's he doing? And they're like, oh, well, he's in his room. He doesn't want to come out. Or I guess he doesn't actually say that. They just say, where is he? He's not at the party. So this lends credence to the NEET theory. I hope to see where that goes. I got expectations.
Is he going to show up at the very least? This is a banquet.
This is a banquet, damn it.
Stupid
Put
boy.
down the PlayStation, son, and come play Drink Station with your old man.
Drink Station.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I am excited. And of course, we didn't say this. Orochi's over there, creeping on the cute girls. Isn't that fun for him? So, like, the gang's all here, and it's time for a party. So that's it. We'll see what happens. Battles are about to go down very soon. We got new characters about to be introduced. I'll still say it, Oda. I still think you're introducing some of these characters a little bit late in the game. If the battle's like about to start, let's not forget Enies Lobby and like the water, like the whole CP9, the rest of the crew. Those guys were introduced, and then we got a full like several chapters where actually we were focused on like the CP9 guys we knew from Water 7 as they were interacting with like the new CP9 guys like Jabuya, Jabra, whatever, Zipperman, Big Hair, Kawa, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. And we actually, that's where we got one of the most interesting discussions about what a devil fruit is. Because there was a whole big arc, or a whole big conversation between those guys about how some were like scared about having another devil fruit around because the devil would jump out and kill them because he's already eaten a devil fruit. That was a fascinating conversation that has informed a lot of what we know about that stuff. So my point being that if the battle is right about to begin, then I think you're a little late to introduce some of these characters, Oda. But maybe he can still do it gracefully.
I don't think the battle is right about to begin. I think the charge forward, and it's going to be like the banquet people are not going to be aware of what's going on for a while. They're going to be like blissfully ignorant, and maybe it's like, Kaido, there's something happening, and Kaido's like, shut up, I'm drinking. Like, it's not going to be dealt with really fast.
That's fair, because I mean, to be fair, like that whole conversation of those guys happened like as the Straw Hats were storming the gates of Enies Lobby, as I recall. So relatively
there was a whole
similar.
big thing of them riding the
Puffing Tom was the one the other guys took, but they were on the the blasty Rocket big, Man one or something.
What are they?
It looked like a shark on the front.
What was the name? There's Gamora and then some other guy.
Oh, those guys.
The Frankie giant.
I believe those guys were called Sodom
Venice
and Gomorrah
boats.
After the biblical.
Just Sodom and Gomorrah?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was Gomorrah and something else.
Shit.
Maybe it was Sodom and Gomorrah.
I'm gonna Google Frankie family and see if they come up as members. It's Sodom and Gomorrah are their two names apparently.
Lamau.
Epic. Oh man, I almost forgot. And when that was happening, oh by the way, that train is called the Rocket Man, which is based. Fucking what was I saying?
When that was happening.
I forget what I was saying. It doesn't matter.
During Enies Nobly.
I was gonna say that during the charge in Enies Lobby, it was like a three-way alliance of the like the Golly Company and Frankie family and the Straw Hats. It was like those three factions were together.
Yeah, and they put their hands in a triforce.
That's right. They did the triangle. Remember that? Oh, shit.
I love that triangle shit thing. I want to do it in real life, but I never have a triangle team combination.
Hey, just for fun, I'm looking into this on the wiki. I'm just on the wiki for the Sea Train. Was the Puffing Tom destroyed during Annie's Lobby or something? Because I just noticed that on the wiki, there's a thing for the Puffing Ice, which is the third Sea Train, or the replacement for the Puffing Tom, after I suppose it got broken. Or
well, it got they yeah. No,
it says it was heavily damaged here on the wiki. So okay,
heavily damaged because they got through, but then the drawbridge was like being raised.
Oh, they had to crash through with the Puffing Tom.
They had to crash the train. Yeah,
that's right. Wait, are you sure that wasn't with the Rocket Man that they did that though?
No, there's Annie's Lobby. I mean, I don't remember what it was called.
Well...
it was the one with the shark face.
Well, that's the Rocket Man. That's the Rocket Man. Okay, well, whatever. I guess the Puffing Tom got damaged also. Oh, dude, remember that agonizing, 6-week period during... I don't know if you were there when the anime was airing. I'd already read this in the manga.
I wasn't... I don't think it was when the anime was airing, but I did watch all of the episodes and was like, come on.
Okay, let me just explain for people, if you haven't read this. There's a moment where the Straw Hats... There's the famous moment of I Want to Live, where the Straw Hats are gazing across the big gulf at the CP9 on the other side to save Luffy and Frankie and stuff. And after they're like, we're going to come get you, Luffy grabs everybody and leaps off the edge. And this does happen in the manga. But before it is resolved, what happens as he pulled everyone off the ledge, they're hurtling towards this horrible abyss below them. It's like 6 or 7 episodes of flashback episodes as we see remember Luffy's origin? Oh, remember Zoro's origin? Remember Sanji's Chopper's doctoring, etc. It was maddening. It was the worst.
It was the
worst filler of all time.
The episodes that had those backstories were one episode for each person's backstory.
That's right.
That was the original broadcasts of those episodes were that, right?
Yeah.
They just played the exact same episode. It wasn't re-edited or anything. It was just that again.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
I feel like it was exactly the same.
I feel like it was a little different.
But just to the very beginning, it was they leap off Zoro falling, and then
Yeah.
I remember when I was a young man and I...
Okay, and then, 6, 7, 8 episodes later or whatever, finally, it's oh, what happens? Oh, we're falling. Oh, the train catches us. And then they jump to the other side. So they just... Oh, God, that pisses me off just to think about it. It was the most annoying... I'm sure they had to do it because, they were caught up with the manga and they, had to give them some time while they were working on it or something. But, God, that was frustrating. Luckily... It's in the past. That's the sort of problem that no one reading the manga now, with all these chapters behind us, will ever need to deal with, or watching the anime. You can just skip those if you have a good guide.
Yep.
So
I ended up skipping them after I realized
what
was happening.
I think I also skipped them. God, it was a nightmare. I think that's about where I got caught up with the anime because I remember hating every second of this. No, I was still watching the anime. I watched the end because I remember the Luffy versus Lucci fight, and it was right as that was ending, and we were transitioning into I remember reading the chapter, I think, that revealed the Yonko, or no, that was, I'm sorry, the Ace versus Blackbeard fight. I watched an anime, and it was right after that. Okay, I'm sorry, just saying stupid words that don't matter. In any case, on this chapter, the Flying Six have arrived, Kaido's got a son, our boys are about to fight, they've all split up into do different things. Lin's getting her fucking kimono on. She's going to be a big, sexy anime girl. Very excited. Whoa, what if they wrap her kimono so tight, it makes her thin and sexy, and she looks beautiful, and I want to have sex with her. What if that happens, Gib? What if that happens?
Well, I think you're just going to have to smash. I mean, I don't see... There's no way around it.
You're going to have to play her in Super Smash Brothers. It's all there is to it. I bet she means Peach, and she's a beast with Peach.
Nah, she's Kirby. She's definitely
Kirby
that's
true.
Player.
She's a Peach kind of beach, but she's also a Kirby girl at her core. That's true. All right, anyway,
Eats
we're done,
all
people.
Of the food.
We're fucking done. That's the end of the chapter. It's been a few days since this one came out, so the next one should be pretty soon, I think. No notice of a delay for the next one, so maybe we'll get the next one out faster. We'll see. And that's it for the podcast. Go join the Discord, link in the description, to talk with our good buddies in the Pod D Discord about all things One Piece and speculation and spoilers and all kinds of crazy stuff. And of course, join the crew and support the Poddcast by going to patreon.com/thepodcastpirates. Link in the description. Pledge at least $1 and join the crew. And don't be a degenerate. Be a hero. Be a shoehorned in, retcon, terrible character like Jinbae and force your way in to displace our big three, which are no one. We don't have a big three, but you can knock them out anyway if they did exist, and you'll have the biggest bounty. So won't that be fun? All right, that's it. Yeah. We're done. We'll see you next week. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Have a wonderful time, and we'll see you for more piratey adventure goodness. See you then.
Oh, before one last thing. Go to Gibbontake.site to read my comics. I make comics too. I make manga. Lord of Ghosts. The Lord of Ghosts manga. It's real.
That's true. Oh, you have to read it left to right though. Ooh, cringe, bro. I'm cringing.
Just read it in a mirror.
I'll download them all and flip the images the other way, and then read them the correct way. It'll be great. And hey, I also make videos. Go to youtube.com/bestguyever. Oh, I think since my fucking YouTube channel got hacked, for the longest time, my URL was youtube.com. I'll try this right now, /bestguyevershow. I think that doesn't work anymore, and I tried to claim it, and it won't let me. But for whatever reason now, youtube.com/bestguyever was available, so I took it. So now it's just youtube.com/bestguyever.
Wonderful.
Go watch my fun things. Oh, the One Piece lecture, of course. Big, 5-hour lecture on One Piece. It's a grand time. Everybody loves it. Go have fun. All right, that's it. We will see you next week, everybody. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.